We're all of us just as dedicated to this thing as you are, just as anxious to get going.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for large-scale film productions that accurately depicted real-life military battles or operations.
I suppose I have a choice in all this.
You sure don't.
Number 20, The Napoleonic Wars, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World.
Straight at him, Mr. Moat.
Straight at him, sir.
In a year dominated by The Return of the King, Master and Commander still managed to take home 2 Oscars for Best Cinematography and Best Sound Editing. And for good reason. This is a great-looking, fantastic-sounding war film that accurately captures the Napoleonic Wars. Filming took place on the open ocean inside a replica of the HMS Rose, ensuring complete visual accuracy. The Oscar-winning sound designer also went to great lengths to realistically capture the whine of warfare, like shooting and recording real cannonballs. And finally, the general story and even the smallest details were incredibly accurate, as novelist Patrick O'Brian was known for his exceptional research.
We therefore commit their bodies to the deep, to be turned into corruption, looking for the resurrection of the body when the sea shall give up her dead.
Number 19, Scud Alley, Bravo 20. In 1991, an 8-man British Special Air Service squad was assigned to locate and destroy Iraqi missile Scud launchers. While the source material of Bravo 20 has been scrutinized over the years, the film adaptation nevertheless depicts the fundamental chaos of the mission. Sean Bean stars as Andy McNabb, who wrote the original book. The character's narration provides an insider account of the experience as he chronicles the ups and downs while pushing forward in Scud Alley.
Stand to! Stand to! Stand to!
Bravo 20 works as an action film, but it also sheds light on the real-life SAS operation and combat techniques.
Hello, Zero, this is Bravo 20. Radio check, over.
Number 18, Embassy Siege, 6 days.
Shit.
I want to negotiate it here now!
On April 30th, 1980, 6 gunmen took control of London's Iranian embassy. With 26 hostages in custody and the world watching, British Army Special Air Service ultimately sets in motion Operation Nimrod live on TV. As a whole, 6 days successfully communicates the shifting strategy on both sides of the incident.
Don't move! Don't talk! You want to die? I said you want to die!
The film fuses international politics, mass media, and military planning, with the technical advising of a real-life SAS operative making it even more intriguing. It also pays special attention to the timeline of events, which creates an effective balance of military ops and big-screen drama.
It's down to the negotiators to break the deadlock. Or your men will have to storm the embassy.
Number 17, The Battle of Hamburger Hill, Hamburger Hill.
Remove the protective wrapping from the toothbrush, put the wrapping next to your left foot. Open the toothpaste, put the cap on top of the wrapping. Now put a generous amount of paste on the sterile bristles.
Taking place between May 13th and 20th, 1969, was the Battle of Hamburger Hill, a controversial skirmish in the Vietnam War. America and South Vietnam emerged victorious, having battled their way up the side of a mountain. But despite victory, the battle was fiercely criticized in the West, as many people argue that Hamburger Hill had no real military significance. The film has long been praised for its realism. It accurately captures the details of the battle, while also focusing on the poor psychological states of the soldiers, which includes decreased morale and bubbling racial tensions. It is also well regarded for its depiction of graphic violence, as Hamburger Hill earned its nickname for the mangled state in which it left its soldiers.
Maybe he died of natural causes.
Half his head was blown away. Sounds like a natural cause to me.
Number 16, Rescuing the Maersk, Alabama, Captain Phillips.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
On April 8, 2009, the cargo ship Maersk, Alabama was boarded by pirates off the coast of Somalia. This famous story was later captured in the Oscar-nominated film Captain Phillips. While the film has drawn criticism for its depiction of Phillips himself, the responding Navy operation was accurately captured. It occurred on April 12th, and it saw SEAL snipers taking out the hijackers while they hid inside a tethered lifeboat. The movie contains a lot of dramatics, like Phillips being threatened with a gun and the pirates being shot through the windows simultaneously. It may all seem like Hollywood dramatization, but the rescue occurred pretty much exactly how it was depicted.
Execute!
Number 15, The Battle of Okinawa, Hacksaw Ridge.
You hurt?
I'm fine!
Mel Gibson made a strong directorial comeback with Hacksaw Ridge, a biographical film about the pacifist combat medic Desmond Doss. Doss performed valiantly during the Battle of Okinawa, saving an estimated 75 soldiers while refusing to engage in combat or even carry a weapon. While Gibson took a lot of creative liberty with Doss's pre-war life, he remained faithful in capturing his actions during the Battle of Okinawa. Doss really did lower the wounded men down the Maida escarpment, and yes, he nearly died in a grenade explosion. In fact, Gibson omitted certain heroic actions because he found them too unrealistic. That's how awesome of a soldier the real Doss was.
Are you wounded? No.
Number 14, the Tet Offensive, Full Metal Jacket.
7.62 millimeter. Full Metal Jacket.
When it comes to Vietnam films, it doesn't get much better than Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. Sort of a two-parter, the second half of the film details the crew's struggles during the Tet Offensive. North Vietnam launched a surprise attack against the Allied forces in 1968, resulting in a violent pushback and an eventual military victory for the Allies. The film is mostly concerned with the Battle of Hue, which left most of the city in ruins. Kubrick never aimed to get the small details correct, but rather to depict the general atmosphere of the Tet Offensive. And in that regard, he attained complete accuracy. While not as surreal as, say, Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket proves just as nightmarish.
Do I think America belongs in Vietnam? I don't know. I belong in Vietnam. I'll tell you that.
Number 13, the Benghazi Attack. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Here we go. Welcome to Benghazi.
Michael Bay showed at least some restraint with 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, with many critics calling it one of his most mature films. It dramatizes the 2012 Benghazi attack, which saw an Islamic militant group called Ansar al-Sharia attacking 2 American government facilities. While the film contains some disputed elements, and while it still sees Bay in his usual over-the-top form, 13 Hours is still a relatively realistic depiction of the event. Some of the more dramatic events of the film, including the deaths of certain characters and the heroic decision to defy military orders, were taken straight from reality. As outlandish as it may seem, sometimes life is a Michael Bay movie.
Keep a close watch on him. We don't know who's good and who's bad.
Copy that.
Number 12, the Battle of Gettysburg. Gettysburg.
Oh, you remember him, sir. The actor from Mississippi.
An actor? We move on the word of an actor?
Can't afford not to.
There are few American skirmishes as famous as the Battle of Gettysburg. Ronald F. Maxwell's film is the definitive account of the almost mythical battle, running over 4 hours and featuring a lot of dense academic material in regard to characters and battle strategies. Funding for the movie was secured with the help of legendary documentary filmmaker Ken Burns, who released his iconic miniseries on the Civil War just a few years before. The movie also starred thousands of professional Civil War reenactors who performed on the real Gettysburg battlefield. This was a rare gift from the National Park Service, and it helped lend Gettysburg an even greater depth and degree of realism.
We're going up there today and we're going to break that line. And when the Yankees run away, there's going to be an open road all the way to Washington.
Number 11, Operation Desert Shield, Jarhead.
Swafford! Sir, yes, sir!
Based on Anthony Swafford's memoir, this film captures the anticipation of Gulf War combat. When a United States Marine sniper arrives in the Arabian Peninsula, he's ready for action and all the inevitable violence that surely awaits him. As the days pass, though, Swafford's Desert Shield experience isn't quite like the non-stop action war movies usually depict.
Without my rifle, I am nothing! Say it, you idiot! No! This is my rifle! There are many like it!
Character dialogue, mostly improvised, highlights this day-to-day grind. Most of all, though, Jarhead locks into the psychological aspects of the mission, showing how soldiers interact before the storm hits, and how some individuals can become their own worst enemy.
The earth is bleeding.
You better get used to it, because we're gonna be living in it.
Number 10, the attack on Pearl Harbor, Tora Tora Tora.
これだと母艦の搭載力も増える。足が長く、速くて困りや。戦闘機としては世界一だ。
Sorry, Michael Bay, but you don't get this one. While Bay's Pearl Harbor absolutely dwarfed Tora 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 at the box office, it's the latter that has stood the test of time and earned the respect of both historians and veterans. Nominated for 5 Oscars, Tora 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 is an exceptional piece of filmmaking that has long been praised for its action sequences and historical accuracy. The movie is remarkably realistic through virtually every angle, including its history, politics, and the ultimate depiction of the famous attack. That's thanks in large part to the involvement of military historians and technical advisors who were actually at Pearl Harbor. It's a classic for a reason. Number 9. The Second Battle of Fort Wagner. Glory.
I would be honored to have you.
Then you're an idiot.
We return to the American Civil War with Glory. The Oscar-winning film dramatizes the life of the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, which consisted of white officers and black soldiers. The regiment performed valiantly during the Second Battle of Fort Wagner, which is beautifully depicted in the climax of the film. While the story takes a few creative liberties, the battle is captured with great attention to detail thanks to the film's Oscar-winning cinematography and sound design. Perhaps most dramatic is the fatal charge on the fort, which sees every major character, including Robert Shaw, getting killed. Shaw actually died in this manner during the real Battle of Fort Wagner, and his death rallied more black soldiers to join the Union.
Who will lift the flag and carry on?
I will.
Number 8. Operation Red Wings. Lone Survivor.
Red Wings a go, tonight, 1800.
During the war in Afghanistan, the United States planned a joint military operation against local militia forces. Lone Survivor tells the story of 4 Navy SEALs who were dropped in the mountains for a recon mission, only to be ambushed with nowhere to escape.
You can die for your country, I'm gonna live for mine.
Based partially on the Lone Survivor's account, this film starring Mark Wahlberg depicts the horror of being geographically trapped during the war. Along with the bravery of the soldiers, Lone Survivor does have its melodramatic moments, yet it's the circumstances and tactical efforts that capture the spirit of the mission and the men involved.
Never end the fight.
Number 7. Operation Market Garden. A Bridge Too Far.
The plan is called Operation Market Garden.
For this World War II mission, the United States' 1st Allied Airborne Army teamed up with the British ground troops, the 30 Corps. The goal? Secure various bridges in Nazi-occupied Netherlands. A Bridge Too Far might indeed have its share of dated character types, but it has a star-studded cast including Sean Connery and the great Dirk Bogarde, and is hailed for accurately depicting a failed mission over the course of its nearly 3 hours.
Down! Take cover!
The late critic Roger Ebert once asked, why make a movie about total defeat and stupidity? Well, this film proves that all World War II stories are worth telling, not just the glamorous ones.
We, my friends, are the cavalry, on the way to the rescue.
Number 6. Defense of Iwo Jima. Letters from Iwo Jima. With this film, director Clint Eastwood strips away Hollywood cliches to examine the Japanese perspective during World War II. More specifically, he focuses on the defense of Iwo Jima and the culture of its military. It's a moving companion film to The Flags of Our Fathers, and it deconstructs Japanese stereotypes for an honest representation of loyalty, honor, and commitment during the Pacific War. 10,000 Japanese soldiers are still buried at Iwo Jima, and the film manages to bring out the humanity of the fallen soldiers, rather than depicting them solely as America's enemies. Number 5. The Battle of Ia Drang. We Were Soldiers.
Now, I hope you gentlemen like training, because me and the Sergeant Major, we love it.
Taking place between November 14th and 18th of 1965, the Battle of Ia Drang is famous for being the first American skirmish of the Vietnam War. Lieutenant General Harold Moore and journalist Joseph Galloway later published a book about the battle called We Were Soldiers Once and Young, which became the famous 2002 film starring Mel Gibson. Gibson plays Moore, who later complimented We Were Soldiers for being the first Vietnam film to get the war right. Despite some creative liberties, like a heroic ending that never actually occurred, the film is a remarkably accurate depiction of Moore's book and his experiences during Ia Drang.
They're just regrouping for another assault. Distribute that ammo. Roulette!
Sir!
You tell Crandall he's got time to get one more flight in here.
Yes, sir.
Number 4. Mogadishu Raids. Black Hawk Down.
Be careful! No one gets left behind!
Before this film's release, many people had read about the United States' presence in Somalia, or even seen shocking news clips, yet they perhaps didn't fully understand what actually transpired in October 1993. Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down cleared that up by showing the conflict of the initial landing and the 17-hour firefight that ensued.
Now they're shooting at us!
Once the American soldiers are pinned down, the street sequences heighten the shock factor for viewers, largely because it's a historically accurate representation rather than just an action flick with emerging stars. As a result, the humanity and the heroism feels entirely realistic because it's exactly that.
We got a Black Hawk down, we got a Black Hawk down.
Number 3. Dunkirk Evacuation. Dunkirk.
There are 400,000 men on this beach, sir.
Directed by Christopher Nolan, this film, shot mostly with 70mm IMAX film, depicts the pivotal World War II evacuation of British soldiers from advancing Nazi armies in France. While many combat productions rely on heavy dialogue, Dunkirk takes a different approach by focusing on the strategy from different perspectives. It's the attention to detail that's so captivating, along with the brilliant pacing. Dunkirk opens up the soldiers' world for viewers, whether it's on the sea, on land, or during an aerial dogfight. As a result, there's a poetic quality to the visuals, as the director hoped to ease up on pure tension to provide an intimate look at the historical evacuation.
You can practically see it from here. What? Home.
Number 2. Operation Neptune Spear. Zero Dark 30.
Dude, it's okay. Do you even realize what you just did?
For years after 9/11, Osama bin Laden evaded American troops. This Catherine Bigelow film takes viewers behind the scenes as the CIA tracks down the terrorist to his Pakistan compound in 2011. When Operation Neptune Spear commences, it's everything you might expect, and yet also so much more. There's the chaos of the initial helicopter crash, and then the chaotic unknown, with the soldiers navigating the darkness via cutting-edge night goggles. When SEAL Team 6 takes over the compound, their confusion and eventual success offers viewers a small bit of ground-level insight into the real-life operation.
I'm gonna smoke everybody involved in this up. And then I'm gonna kill bin Laden.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. D-Day. Saving Private Ryan. For a long time, The Longest Day was the go-to film for D-Day, but that changed with Saving Private Ryan. In the opening sequence of this massively successful film, director Steven Spielberg recreates the United States Normandy invasion during World War II, one of the most famous and infamous days in military history. It is bloody, violent, and shockingly realistic. The movie stars Tom Hanks, Matt Damon, and a brilliant extended cast, and helped viewers understand, if only a little bit, what soldiers endured on June 6, 1944.
Got to the coast of Normandy, and then it really got hot.
There is grace under pressure depicted with great impact, and certainly fear under pressure too. Saving Private Ryan immerses us in the conflict of trying to survive while experiencing hell on Earth.
That's quite a view. Yes, it is.
Which of these battles fazed you the most? Let us know in the comments below.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.